No, I definitely think that's true. I mean, it was kind of surprising to me that Max didn't want to push at the very end of the session to go fastest because I believe that he could have. Normally, he that is something that he likes to do, regardless of whether or not they need to do it. They, he had an opportunity to actually drive at the end of testing this year, even though that wasn't really the original plan. The original plan was for Max to do the entire first day, half of the second day, and then leave, but because of these interruptions and things, he got a chance to drive at the end. So I was a little bit surprised that he didn't go for the absolute fastest time. Well, I believe that they did. And yes, you can look at lap times, not even just GPS data, but just lap times. And Max was setting very sort of metronomic pace over and over and over again. For like 10, 12, 15 laps. At a pace that was much better than anyone else, really. The Ferrari had some impressive pace as well, but I still think Max was better overall. But this question of degradation is very important. When you say zero degradation or negative degradation, we have to be a little bit careful when we're talking about this because there's two things happening at the same time, and there's never true zero degradation. I can promise you, a tire is better in the very beginning of a stint than the end. But the question is, how much grip are you losing lap per lap? That would cause you to have a slower lap time, compared to how much fuel are you burning lap per lap, which would cause you to have a faster lap time, right? So if you have a car that can do the same lap time over and over and over and over and over again, what that means is that the rate at which your tires are degrading is shallow enough to where it's not overcoming the effect of going faster because the fuel's burning off. Now, in most situations, you see lap times increase over time because you'll have the tire degradation is overwhelming the fuel burn off effect. But when you see, like a constant line, or if anything, the lines can keep going down, the tire degradation is very, very, very low. It's never going to be zero. And that's why we have to be a little careful about what we mean by like zero deg. Zero deg usually means, or negative deg, and zero deg is talking about how the lap times are progressing through a stint. It's entirely possible for lap times to go down the entire stint, but that requires very, 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 very low tire wear. So there's no question in my mind that Red Bull's not really showing their full hand because they don't really need to. They've learned what they need to learn from their car. They certainly have not been wrong-footed by being very ambitious about the design of their new car, and they're going to start the season strong no matter how we cut it. Go ahead.
So speaking of tires, there's kind of an ongoing issue that I'm sure others have noticed as well. But so I believe it was the first day of the test. I was going to say training, the testing sessions, where, and I don't remember what team it was, where rear wheel came off the car, spun around, rear wheel came off. I noticed last season, the same thing. We saw that with Lewis. It happened multiple other times with other drivers. Car spins around and the wheel just completely comes off of the axle. Um, do you see some way to prevent this from happening? Like I consider not only a danger for the drivers, but also a serious danger for people in the stands watching the race. And I've never really seen that in Formula One. Um, like in recent, like I used to see it occasionally, like back in the day, like 20 plus years ago. But it seems like the last two seasons that it's really become a problem. And I'm curious what your thoughts are on that.
I have not been seeing wheel rims coming off. What I've been seeing are the tire carcass coming off a lot. And I've seen that coming off more so in the 18-inch wheel rim era than ever before. Really, again, the wheel rim combination, the rim and tire combination is only marginally bigger than it was in the previous era, but the percentage of it that is wheel versus what's tire is now much more balanced in the wheel sense.
Good morning, race fans. It is the 29th of February. It's a leap year, everyone. It's the 29th of February. We're here at the Bahrain for the first practice GP. You are listening to the Race 62 channel. and this is Gresh here live with you to bring you the action. We're about 5.5 minutes away from cars on track for that first practice. Um, Round one, everyone. Are you excited yet? Because now we're really seeing, now we're getting closer to the first race. And it's now really, really close. It is Thursday morning for me. It is Thursday across most of you. It's a day early. That's because the race is going to be this Saturday. And the reason this race is this Saturday is because the race in um, Saudi Arabia is also going to be on Saturday. And the reason that race is Saturday is that essentially it's basically because of Ramadan. Ramadan is going to be starting. I think it's starting Sunday, if I understand correctly. So they moved the race back one day to accommodate the religious, and that's a big deal. Don't play that down. That's a big deal. F1's got new graphics for their introduction. They're really snazzy. They're probably the best ones they've had so far with what they're doing. Best produced so far. So because Ramadan is because of what's going on with Saudi Arabia, they need 7 days between races, so they got to push that back. Yeah, please be respectful. Please, yeah, guys, I've got to, yeah, please be respectful. If you're not going to be respectful about this, you can go somewhere else. So, anyways, moving on. It is round one. It is FP1, and we're about 3 minutes away from cars on track. So this is the 20th anniversary of being here in Bahrain, which is really cool. Um, the track record is held by Lewis Hamilton. And there's about 16 meters of elevation on this track across the lowest point to the highest point. One of the things that we saw was that over testing, particularly on turn 11, um, cars were going over those drain pipes really hard, more so than expected. And basically, we had two drain pipes pulled up. And this is something, if you guys were listening, it's probably going to see this happen again. Um, Basically, what's going on is when those cars are going over it, they're basically big, huge vacuum cleaners. And if it's not down properly or not well enough, or there's any structural deficiencies, where they're going to pull these things up. And we saw this in Vegas. We saw it twice this weekend. We will see it again this year, just because just the ground effect on these cars are so much so. And one of the things that we know that they're much more um, powerful than we expected, because last year Pirelli actually rolled out a new set of compounds to replace what they started. Basically, they started with a compound um, last year and changed to a newer compound that was stronger by Silverstone, because the cars were going faster, putting more force into the tires than they expected. So. Again, ultimately, basically, we're having FP1 on Thursday because the race is on Saturday, because Saudi Arabia is going to be on Saturday because they needed to move it from Sunday to Saturday. It's a bunch of dominoes that are falling in place, and then of course Australia is going to be on Saturday because they're so far ahead. And again, if you guys are not going to be respectful of these religions, you can go somewhere else. So right now, who is coming out? They're looking at Max's car right now. Max is in his car. We're now got a view of Charles' car. They're putting the wheels on as we speak. Rory Bros Racing Bulls better be close to Red Bull and Ferrari because I got all 4 of them drivers in my fantasy team. And we got green light. Who was on track? Nope, it's not green light yet. It's still red. The Haas is going to come out. The Stake is going to come out second. And we are green light, and off they go. I'm surprised cars were not lined up. They just started coming out as the light turned green. One of the Alpines is out now, and that would be Esty, we would like to call him. So it's Hulkenberg, Bottas, Archon Magnussen are on track. Oscar's out on track. See, we got Joe on track. Looking at what you guys are up at the moment in chat. If you guys have questions for me, you can ask any questions. Yeah, we're going to ask you again, for those who are in chat, please stick it to motorsports. We're not here to talk about other issues. We're here to, for me, I'd like to get away from those other issues, please. So we're trying to keep this community respectful and insightful on issues. Dude, don't drop in phase information. Archon has not had 5-second penalty already. It's not even the race. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shot. Wow. So right now we've got Hulkenberg with the fastest sector 1 and Magnussen and Sebastian sector 3 on the outlaps. Round. Why does my what is my profile here? Oh, it's because my profile picture was generated by a friend of mine who generated a picture that is in a square frame. And YouTube wants to show it in a circle. Basically, YouTube is putting the square peg in the round hole. Track and Travel Wheeled says, "Oh, that steak is ugly. It might be the kick car. Let me see that. Is it kick or is it steak this weekend? So in some places, I think it will be kick next week in Saudi Arabia, because they don't allow due to gambling regulations. So if you notice on F1 TV, they've already gone with the K for kick as opposed for an S. So far, we have not seen on track is Verstappen, Sargent, and Stroll. But Max was in his car. Stroll has just come out on track. And over the McLaren radio, they're talking about how the wind is strong this weekend. So Perez has the fastest sector 1 right now, setting out a good time. Did 30.4 seconds in that first sector. Oscar did 40.5 in the second sector, fastest there. See where Perez comes out in the second sector. He does a 40.8. So 3 seconds off of Oscar's time. Oscar goes P1 with the fast sector 2, 135.616. And then Perez is coming. He's going to come in faster one, the 135.093, 093. Excuse me. So we got a Red Bull, but not the one you expect in P1 right now. Science coming in P2 with 135.299. See who else is coming across the track right now. Interesting. Max is in his car. They're holding him for a reason. It may be just because there's so many people on track right now. There's 18 cars on track, so there's for a practice session. That's a lot of cars. You normally do not see this many, and so far they've all been out on a medium tire that I can tell. I'm not sure about Barajo, Albin, and Alonso. They did insulation laps, so they went out on track, came back right back, and that's basically insulation. That's the definition of insulation. They went out, make sure everything is okay with the engine for that one lap, and then they're coming in and testing out, doing other modifications on the car. When you think of the new F1 side pods, paint jobs, I know some comes with carbon fiber. I mean, they're all carbon fiber underneath everything at that point because of its strength and durability and lightweightness. Snowden is fastest sector 1 time as we talk about that. Keep an eye on his lap times. And Hamilton has some fastest subsectors. Leclerc also as well. So we've got 3 people on flying laps at the moment to keep an eye on. So basically we're getting, with the state car, I mean, it's all five in carber with the highlight of green, the neon green, unfortunately. Max has come out on track, just so you guys know. Hamilton has come P1, fastest sector 3, 23.206, in a 134, so that's the fastest. Clerk comes in 134.6. So this is the new. So these times are the first in that 134 section. Snowda comes in P5, which is a 135.5. Russell does a 134.664. So we're about 4/10 faster than what Perez set out on his that first setting lap. So we'll see what Red Bull, is Red Bull going to come out and be like fastest as heck? Again, Max has not gone around once yet. So he's yet to set a time. I believe is he still on it? I believe he's still on his outlap. And so the only one who's not been on track yet is Sargent. So Max is on the loss right now on the straight before the curve, the last curve before the line. If he comes, we'll know here if it's an installation lap or if he's going to go for a fast lap. Again, everyone's on medium tires right now. And here we go. Max is on a flying lap now. It looks like Oscar's right behind him on that flying lap. So he's just hit turn 1 on the chart right now. We'll see where you've got the Alpines ahead of Max at the moment. It passes them pretty quickly. Ricardo is the next car in front of Max on this lap. Max does a flying 30.147 in the sector 1. That is about a tenth and a half faster than Science's lap, sector 1 time. We're coming in for sector 2, and Max. Look where Max comes in. He's got fastest subsectors at the moment. and he's got the fastest sector 2, 40.365, which is 0.3 faster than Sainz's sector 2. So we're like 0.4 up already. He could be at the very low 134. He could, if he depends how fast he goes, he could break one to the 133s. He does break the 133s, 133.900. Sector 3 wasn't the fastest of all, but it was a 23.388. That is a 10th off from Hamilton's Sector 3 set. Trying to see if anyone else did anything faster. Bottas did no, it's a 32, not a 23. Yeah, no, I mean, I think Hamilton did a faster Sector 3 with a 23.206. So he's a 10th off of there. So there's time for improvement in that last sector from Max, which is crazy. Oh, what tire compounds? That's a good question. Okay, so we're using the C1, C2, C3 compounds. These were the 3 compounds that we saw at the C3 soft that we're seeing today were the yellow mediums during testing. So the three and again, these are the 3 compounds we saw mostly during testing as it was already. So these are the hardest compounds that we've got. I'm just looking for what you guys are saying in chat right now. A lot of you are rooting for different fans: Hamilton fans, Max fans, Checo fans. I know I did see someone rooting for the Honey Badger in there at one point. RJ saying RB is a rocket ship. Yeah, I mean the Red Bull have found another way to elevate their car and not just evolve on what they have, but to like push it even further. Ooh, Perez just did a P2, 133.984. Again, 0.084 behind Max. That's what we should be expecting from Perez. Norris just come with a P4 with a 134.506. I believe Sainz came in with P3 while I was talking. Stroll has jumped up to P8. See who else is right now. Alonso right now, fastest for a sector. He's about to finish his second sector. Not the fastest. He's 140.012. 7/10 off. Is that correct? In sector 2? Ooh. We'll see where Alonso ends up at the end of this lap. Okay, so Pharaoh is asking about welcome to F1. Alonso comes in P4 134, by the way. So the colors you see. So basically, there are 3 colors that there's 4 colors you're going to see on that chart besides white. White is older data, like Leclerc right now hasn't been on track, so his times are all white. These are all previous times. Yellow and red times. These are the driver on track hasn't improved in that sector. So basically, we've broken the track down to three parts. We call them each a sector: sector 1, sector 2, sector 3. Yellow means the driver is not improved. Red means it's not improved and it's actually much worse. And it's the timing chart. Usually, it's throwing a lot of reds, but these are actually should be just yellow. Like green time means that the driver has improved on their previous best time. And if a time comes up in purple, it means it is the fastest in that sector, fastest in that lap. And we will see that the driver number, so like right now, Max Verstappen's driver number has the purple on it. right now during testing and practice, you're going to see like the fastest driver is going to be at the top. They're going to have it, but that's going to be indicative during the race. That driver number will indicate who's the driver who has the fastest lap at that time. If it's not Max, and if Max doesn't know, he doesn't have it, and has 30 seconds to pit and come back out and take it at the last second. That was crazy when he did that last year. So, when you look at the lap gap position, particularly lap and gap, if you see the numbers in green, it means they are on track. If you see white, it means they are in the pit. So, like Norris right now is in the pit. Oscar's in the pit. Esteban's in the pit. Gasly, Magnussen are all in the pit at the moment. We're following Joe right now. I guess he did an installation lap and ignore the gap time. That's garbage moment. Max on a new flying lap again. He's improved in that sector. Russell's jumped to P1. His second sector is the fastest. He is 2/10 off in sector 1, and he's improved in sector. He improved in sector 3. He's at a 133.7, so he's about a tenth and a half off of Max's previous best time. But Max right now is on a flying lap, so we'll see what happens. No, this is a regular weekend, Bart. This is a regular weekend. This is, and see, Max has done a fastest sector 2, but Alonso's taken fastest sector 1 from him. He's done a 1.835, so about a tenth faster than Verstappen. Verstappen does take the fastest lap so far, 133.535. Improves in sector 2. It's again, he was fastest sector 1, fastest sector 2, though that sector 2 has been taken away from him. Improved in his sector 3, but not the fastest sector 3. Hamilton was a 23.202, Max at a 23.372 in that sector 3. See, Alonso just finished his second sector. He's improved in his time, did a 40.451, so he is 2.25 off of Max's. So he's behind by a tenth if I did my math correctly. He's not improving in his sector 3 times. Let's see where, and he jumps to a P4. Does improve ultimately. It was a 133.929. So ultimately 4/10, lost another 3/10 in that sector 3. Yeah, we don't need you guys to like repeat yourself over and over again. Right now they're going over I believe the Williams wing, the moment that's out in front of the garage. Looking, you guys are going to. Wait, well, thank you for pointing that out for me. I'm just looking at what's going on in chat at the moment, and then looking back, and they're bringing Max's car into the garage, which that makes sense. You know, he's got out done what he needed to do for speed. He is complaining about downshifting. Max is complaining about downshifting in the car. Says that the car is basically jumping when he downshifts. So we'll see what's going on there. So right now, with we've gone about 20 minutes in the session. We've got Max P1, Russell P2, Perez P3, Hamilton P4. So if you guys wanted to say that Mercedes was maybe sandbagging a bit during practice, preseason practice, then yeah, this is definitely a jump up than what we expected. Alonso's P5 and Mercedes and not Mercedes, Ferrari is P6, P7, Norris P8. But we've only done most. Ricardo's done the most, and Hulkenberg's done the most on track with 10 laps. No one's done more than that. Tsunoda's done 9, Leclerc 9. Yeah, a couple others have done 8. So we haven't done a lot of laps as of yet. LX, thank you for getting FP1 last year was a 1 minute 32.758 set by Perez. So we're 8 tenths off of that moment. And he said the times will tumble once the track grips up. Again, what he means by track grips up is that it's called track evolution. So as you ride cars over this track, you are actually improving the track. It's what they refer to as rubbering in. Oh, Paula has given us a $10 donation. Thank you, Paula. £10 donation, I should say. So as cars keep going over the track is going to improve. And Great Man from Buffalo says Haas is 2 seconds off free practice pace of last year. It is what it is. Haas had a bad car last year, and they are telling us that their car's not very good this year. Again, we've gone 22 minutes into the session. There's 38 minutes left to go. You are listening to the Racing Tickets YouTube channel, and this is Crash. I am here live with you for free practice 1 for this new season. We are in Bahrain. It's round 1. And at the top of the board, we have Max for free practice 1. He set a time for 1:33.5. Can they go faster? They probably will. We'll see that again in a few minutes, that these times will tumble a little bit more. Danny Dent says Aston's got a fast car. That's all I'm going to say, and that's all you need. They do have a fast car. They definitely do have a fast car. Stroll is in 9th, and Alonso's 5th on the board at the moment. Max is a $10 donation to the channel. Super Chat, RS is the best YouTube channel. Let's go, Max and Pats. I believe he's referring to my Patriots. We can talk about them another time. And yeah, everyone's been on mediums, Simon. And that is the C2 compound this weekend. So those would have been a hard compound last week during preseason testing. Max talking about our Patriots. It's a collaboration, my friend. And he knows exactly what I'm talking about if he's been following the team lately. What's Hamilton doing the pit right now? It could be one of many things. I mean, a lot of teams are in the pits at the moment. The only ones out are Albon, Bottas, Zhou. I mean, like as we're looking right now, Sainz is coming into the pits. There could be doing some modification of the car. Who is coming out though? We have a car coming out for a outlap, but I'm not sure who it is. LMAX also bringing up that Red Bull didn't appear to have too many reliability concerns in testing, completing many miles and looking quick throughout. Yeah, most teams didn't have reliability issues. We didn't have cars breaking down on track. I think the only one there was an issue with Albon on the first day in the morning. Had a fuel pump issue, and they were able to get him off the track without going to a red flag. After that, I mean, the only other we had incidents with the drain pipes, but ultimately we didn't have any major reliability issues with the cars per se. We didn't have them breaking down on track. If there was an issue, they would bring in they would get the car back to track. So right now we've got Bottas, we got Albon, and we've got Norris and Oscar on track. Those are the four on track right now, as we can see. So some of you are using the points command in chat. Basically, we have basically like a running competition going in chat. It's basically by talking in chat. You do not say that in chat. So by chatting, using the super chat, donations, these are all will give you points towards basically bragging rights. And at the end of the season, there will be a simulation race. And right now we are waiting to see last year's simulation race. See a lot of you. So we'll see people. Again, like me and Steam Labs, we're mods, so our names are coming up in blue. But you'll see by my name, I have a badge by my name. You'll see other people in green, like Jose, Deepan, Elmas. I'm gonna show Paula. Who else is here? Jose is here. Yentel's here. Elwax is here. Who else? Say something if you've joined the channel. We've all joined the channel, so basically we're throwing about a couple bucks each month to the channel to help support it. If you see Racing Consistency, just put all the special emojis that we have. I actually have the box emoji on a mug. We actually have a merch store. I have a T-shirt with a Racing Consistency logo on it. It's a real nice shirt from the store that we were using. I actually have a mug with the box emoji on it, among my other swag that I have. We also have a Discord channel, and if you guys want to continue the conversation, again, a lot of you are new here, so if you want to continue the conversation, come join the Discord channel, and we can keep talking between sessions. And then between race weekends as well. We have great humor channel now. Someone did a set of fisheye looking images for the drivers, and that has been a lot of fun of seeing what people have done with those, the jokes for those. And we've got Oscar right now. We've got McLaren. So Oscar just did 133.113, so 0.4 faster than Max. That's big. This is Oscar's starting his second season. Last year was his first season, and he was the rookie of the year last year. Let's put it bluntly. We have no one new on the grid. I would say Ricardo is the newest driver on the grid. Welcome back, Ricardo, from last year. Replacing De Vries in the middle and then being hurt and coming back. So we know that Oscar did that on a soft tire. So that is the C3 compound. So that is if we want to know the difference between that C2 and the C3, 0.4 right now in a quali scenario. and it could be much faster. I'm not sure what Anderson when you mean by the tire choices. They are shown on F1 TV. They are sometimes again. There's right now we're seeing the tires choices on and Norris is on a soft tire. He just came out as well. We'll see what he is on an outlap, so he is going to be flying in a little bit. I'm not sure what you're going on. We don't care. He's on soft pasta. What WDF, baby? I'm not sure where you're going at, man. Just a lot of people who are new here. We don't allow basically talking about pirate streams. We don't support that. It's illegal. We don't support that. And if we did, F1 could actually come down on us for allowing that discussion happen in our chat. So we like our channel. We have over 111,450 subscribers, right? And we like that we're doing well. We don't need to support pirate streams. Like me, Lex, I'm mispronouncing your name, but Haas is still trying to understand the tires. I think Haas is trying to understand more than just tires. I think there's an issue with the car itself at this point. They were last place last year. They were last place in 2021. They've replaced Gunther, but I don't know if the new guy is gonna. I mean, he took over 2 months ago. I mean, the car was baked in for the most part when he arrived. But and again, he was the engineering lead. So there we go. Guys was with Haas for a long time. The bold prediction: Haas will be in the top 20. That's not a bold prediction. That's just hitting the dartboard, my friend. Oh boy. And Norris just did a 132.901, so 0.2 faster than his teammate, and that was on a soft tire. So times to be crumbling in the next 25 minutes or so. Some say is the name of the person who said this, but FTT will see qualifying pace. Yeah, FTT will be closer to what we'll see in quali because it's closer to the time that quali will be at. I think it'll be actually an hour later than quali if I did my time calculations correct. And joining me right now is one of our other commentators. It's Gaster. Hey man, welcome to FP1. Welcome to the new season.
Hello, this is. Well, yeah, it's been a while, huh? What? It's been 3 months, 2 months? Yeah. This came much faster than I expected.
No, I couldn't come any sooner for me, my friend. I'm actually happy to be back seeing F1.
Yeah, same. I unfortunately missed the F1 intro though, so
It will definitely be on YouTube. it is an evolution. I mean, it's as you would expect, it's the drivers, but there's a lot more production. There's a lot more production work, more augmented VR, AR stuff going on around them in the shots they had previously. Looks nice. Don't get me wrong; it looks great. You see, as we just brought you on, Yuki just did a fastest sector 1, 29.715. He does a 40.048. I mean, that's Hamilton right now did a 40.008. So he's within the same frame as, and Tsunoda's going to go
Tsunoda's
P3.
third. Wow,
He's third on a soft tire.
Oh, soft
Ricardo's
tire.
on a flying lap. Ricardo did within a 0.072, 0.072 behind his teammate. So here is the last year's Red Bull car on track, everyone. We might as well say that right now.
I mean, Tsunoda's in P3 for a reason, right?
Ricardo's about to finish his sector 3 right now. Wow, we've got a lot of
39866. 39866. That is not bad.
That's faster than Tsunoda's.
Tsunoda's, yep. Roughly 2/10. Roughly 2/10.
So right now, Ricardo is faster than Tsunoda going into sector 3.
Mm-hmm.
And where he just, oh my God, he just jumped to P1.
That is
Ricardo is P1, everyone.
He didn't set any purple sectors, but he ended up with an overall fastest time. That's interesting.
This is a 132.869. Wow, everybody, the Honey Badger is back.
Definitely. I think the first thing that caught my attention actually is that Mercedes seems to nail the sector 2 really well. I'm not sure why exactly. Do you think you have an idea on why exactly they seem to just constantly get purple within that sector?
The sector 2, I am not sure.
Sector 3.
Oh, sector 3. It could be straight line speed, because I mean, basically, it's the last 2 curves. Sorry, turns. Excuse me. The last 2 turns before you get to the finish line. I mean, it's those. Yeah, that's all I can say. Is it could be a fast line speed issue. I mean, sector 1 is pretty much, there are some more curves, but it is pretty much straight.
Yeah,
as well.
so that
sector
so I'm not
2
sure
is
why is it only sector 3, because like you said, 1 and 3 are both relatively straight line speed focused ones. So they've been constantly getting purple within sector 3, but sector 1 doesn't seem to be the same. So I'm just curious what exactly sets the two sectors apart, especially in terms of how the car approaches.
Sector 2 is very curved. I mean, it's almost a hairline. There's there's almost a hairpin, almost 2 hairpin curves, one after each other in that sector.
Mm-hmm.
There's a straight, by the paddock area, but then it curves again, a big S before you get to sector 3.
It's definitely the slowest sector between all 3. Yeah.
So again, Fitch bringing up that the last year's testing, that doesn't really help from testing, but it was 132.7 was last year's testing. So as we were talking, Science did jump to a P9 with the fastest sector 3 sector. Did a 133.385.
And another thing, Bottas, he's 133.354 in 8th position, but it's on soft tires. I don't know if it means much, but
we know the soft tires are faster. So, again, we have not seen. We've got. Let me see. Max and Perez are out on track, and they're on medium tires. So they're not. There's again. There is definitely a hierarchy here. We can compare soft to soft to mediums right now.
Okay, all right. Just not enough laps from the other teams, huh?
So we're following on with Magnussen right now on a medium tire on stream. He's 4.6 seconds off of the fastest time, though again, the fastest time was set with a soft tire. That improves him over his teammate. The only people who've done that we haven't covered is Ocon is 14th at 134.8. That's his fastest time so far. Let's see who else is. Russell is. He's not on a flying lap. He backed off. Max has jumped up to P5. Again, he's on a medium tire. So everyone above Max right now are on soft tires. So Max is a 133.238. So Tsunoda basically is a tenth, half of the tenth faster than him on a soft tire.
Russell's lap, 2 yellow sectors. I'm not sure if that's good.
Just trying to see right now. No one right now is improving on their times. But no one's showing up on green on the board at the moment. You see. So Tsunoda's been out on those soft tires for 4 laps. Ba's out on three laps right now. So people are getting some mileage on those tires at the moment. You know, that's bro. I just left. When did McLaren get P2, 3? While you were away, they were P1, P2, and then the V carb, the Racing Bulls, Ricardo and Tsunoda took Tsunoda took P1, then McLaren took P1, P2, then Ricardo set the P1 time.
I want to know what's up with Haas, actually.
Their car's horrible, man. They were last in the constructor last year, and they basically admitted that their car's no good.
Yeah, I kind of expected that, honestly, because that's just the kind of impression they give throughout testing and based on what we've seen from last year. But there is some kind of issue right now, though, right? Because the kind of gap they have is really massive.
The Haas's gap?
Yeah, because they're 4.6 seconds from Ricardo right now. So
yeah,
I assume they haven't even tried to set a fast lap.
I don't know what they haven't really. I don't know what's going on with Haas.
All right.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what's going on with Haas. Albin, as we talked, just improved on all his times. He's jumped up to P12 with a 133.5. It's just notable that he's the only one who's improved on his times right now.
This sector one looks pretty good, honestly. You've seen it.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you can speak.
Yeah, Albin did a 29.9, which is 0.2 off of Ricardo's. Sainz was going. I don't know if it's gonna. We'll see in a moment whether he's on a flying lap or not. He's improved on a few sectors, but not many. I should say sub-sectors, I should say. And Sainz did not improve very much. His time went in red in that sector too. Do you have any particular team that you're looking? You're curious to see how they're going to do this year?
Oh, well, Aston's definitely one that I'm very closely watching. But other than them, I think Yeah, most likely just McLaren, and actually just the top 5 teams in general. I would expect Red Bull to be quite ahead still, but I want to see how the rest of the 4 stack against each other. The 4 being like Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren, Aston. Because I think even just looking at this, I'm not sure we can say we are sure how the pecking order is going to be like.
Yeah, and I think the pecking order is definitely going to be upset this year. I mean, we're looking at, I think 6 teams in that top area. I mean, we got Red Bull. I mean, the first one you'd think is Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari, but we've got Aston Martin in that mix now. We've got McLaren in that mix now, and we've got now the sister team, the V car, the Racing Bulls, in that mix as well, and that's going to be interesting. Now we're talking about 6 teams that are highly competitive. I mean, it was 4 last year. Now we've got 2 more back in that mix. I mean, McLaren at the end of the year got into that mix. So it's going to be interesting who is going to be on the outs. What is going on with Alpine? Alpine basically went through management hell and did their great purge of management. So who knows where they're going to be? Where is Haas is doesn't know. Every so often we will see Williams get into that top 10. So that's even another team that could be pushing other teams out. And then where is this the Stake Kick Sauber team as they're going through being purchased by Audi? Where are they going to be? Ocon's basically saying that his car is super inconsistent. I didn't see what the rest says, but this is
Yeah, according to the engineer, it's actually to do with his wing. Sorry, wait, no, the wind. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the conditions at the track are really upsetting a lot of the cars. So
Okay.
I think just based on this, there is a chance that the overall weekend it could be pretty luck based actually.
It could. I mean, there's yeah, but there's always an element of luck. I mean,
That's true. That's true. But the wind seems to be a pretty big factor this weekend, as far as I can tell. Even during testing, there were a number of drivers finding the wind to be a bit of a problem, weren't there?
Looking at what's going on, people are talking about Andretti right now. Those who have not been following, Andretti is an American motorsports organization headed by Michael Andretti, who's the son of Mario Andretti, the former F1 champion. Both of them, Mario and Michael, have driven in F1, won races in F1, podiums. They're experienced. And they got through they want to be a new team on the grid. The FIA says that they passed what they were happy with what they would bring to the grid, and then they passed them off to F1 management, and then ultimately F1 management found every single way to tell them no. So right now we've got 2 teams that are not doing very well, Haas and Alpine, which are basically at the bottom of the pack right now, and they're being, basically people in chat are saying that they should sell to Andretti. The problem is neither team wants to sell. there's no team on this grid that wants to sell. And I bring that up because that was one of the points about being told to Andretti, you should buy a team. Well, no one team is selling. And the thing with Alpine is they just brought in significant amount of investors, like big name investors, like Ryan Reynolds, big name footballers from Europe. I know they brought in a couple NBA players. I want to say LeBron is one of them, but I could be wrong. I know LeBron is invested in Fenway Sports Group, which is another organization in the United States. They own basically Fenway Sports Group owns the Red Sox, Penguins, and Liverpool, the Liverpool football team. So, Ken Lin saying Andretti will be in it before 2020. No, dude, they've got a ton of money. Financing is not an issue for Andretti. So, this is all about politics in F1. Felix says Gene Haas is too much an ego to sell to Andretti. Both guys are going at it in IndyCar. I don't think Haas is in IndyCar. They are in NASCAR with under Stuart Haas Racing. They're in NASCAR, but I don't know if he has an F1 team.
Yeah, so looks like Alonso just set a time. He improved quite a bit, moved from, I believe, 13 to P5. Actually, he got yellow for his first sector, but his sector 2 and 3 seems to be improving. And he's also still on the medium tire, so I think at this moment, yeah, he has the fastest timing on the mediums, though Verstappen is definitely trailing behind.
And it looks like we've got a yellow flag, local yellow that Jose says, sector 2, and it's gone green again. So someone went off track and came back on. That's when you guys see happen, when you see a yellow flag thrown like that and come back, it's basically a car has come off the track and has come back on track. Because the car is off the track, they've got to throw that yellow flag. So. We've got 8 minutes left in this session right now. Again, you guys are listening to the Racing Statistics YouTube channel. You've got Gaster and with me, Grash, right now for commentary. We are here with Free Practice 1, and we've got over 1,230 people that's liking. That's likes. We've got over 8,000 of you watching right now. I want to thank everyone who has come and are watching right now. We will be back for Free Practice 1 later on. I'm sorry, Free Practice 2 later on. Not really bad. We will be back for Free Practice 3 tomorrow, quali, and for the race over the next few days as well.
Verstappen, 5.5 seconds to Ricardo's time on mediums. Yeah, but again, I'd assume that's a race lap, isn't it?
Verstappen did his on a medium tire, and Ricardo did his times on soft tires. So there is, except for I think Oscar, who's on Oscar set his fastest time on a soft tire. So everyone above Alonso did their times on soft tires.
Oh, okay.
Alonso and Verstappen and everyone down in that group did their times, have not gone to the soft tires.
Yeah, in fact, I think the only team below the top 4 that have been on softs is the 2 state cars, actually.
We've got 6 minutes left in the session right now. For those who are curious, so after this session ends, it will be 2.5 hours until FP2, but we will be back in 90 minutes. We'll probably be back 90 minutes after this session with music or with. I know that we've been playing a Twitter space that hosted by Brian Sullivan. If you have not listened to it, it is actually very good. It's very informative, and you will learn a lot from it. Actually, they've got both me and Racing Statistics are like, wow, this is really cool. This is really good. One of the great new additions to the channel this weekend. As we sit right now, we've had only one yellow flag and no red flags so far.
Probably a good thing.
Oh, come on! I like red flags. Apparently, I bring red flags. I'm trying to jinx it.
Yeah.
Watch chat be angry at me now. And
then they just won't continue the session.
At this point, if we got a red flag, we wouldn't continue the session because it's not enough time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
To clean the track, get back everyone up. So
I think, ignoring the soft times, which I think within the soft tires it's an interesting look, but ignoring those, it's mainly Alonso together with the two Mercs and Verstappen and Leclerc. Yeah, I guess it's really the teams we expected. But
I think the story right now is that VCarb and McLaren are on top of the boards, but they did so because they were the only ones on the soft tires, and everyone below them did not go onto the red tires, and that is probably it's a tactical choice. Don't get me wrong, like that's a tactical choice to go out early on those red tires in this session. The other teams are probably made a decision to not use the red tires.
Yeah, I think most likely want to get the setup right first before even figuring out like other compounds,
So basically, it's probably most likely a tactical choice. They decided to just go on mediums all day today, because that's what Red Bull did. That's what Mercedes done. That's what Ferrari has done, and I think that's what Alonso has done as well. So those four teams made a choice to just do medium tires in the session, and because they're testing stuff, they're doing other things. Whereas the other two teams have checked, let's go for it. And we will probably see the soft tires later today.
In the second session today, huh?
Yeah, we'll probably see those. We'll probably see them later We'll probably see them in the next session from those teams. So we'll see what's going on.
One thing to note is Bottas is actually setting a time right now on soft tires, but he doesn't seem to be improving all too much, or at least not meaningfully relative to the likes of Ricardo.
Yeah, and he's a half a second going into that third sector on those soft tires.
I think this really just does not put a lot of confidence in stake.
Well, we'll see where he actually finishes. Again, that second sector is curvy. It's got those big curves. He's going to come across the line. He's going to be 0.8. He's going to not improve. He's going to stay at 10th. And that shows where that Sauber car is at this point.
Yeah, the Sauber car does not look good. But I think we just have to wait until
that's actually a minute and a half left to go in this session.
Yeah, Max is complaining about downshifts again.
Is he? That's interesting.
Yeah, he did this just now. He said that something was off in the way that the car's downshifting, and I think it's a problem that he's still having. So we'll see if they're going to resolve this issue.
Yeah, so
of course not now.
Earlier in that chat's asking what's up with Alpine. They don't have a good car. And part of it is that they basically they had a lot of management turnover in the last 2 years. and some of it for no good reason.
Yeah, Alpine is unfortunately P17 and 18 right now. Yeah, I'm not surprised if they're not pushing, but that's still a position and a timing you don't really want to see.
And we are into. We've got 25 seconds left to go on the stream, the F1 stream right now. Everyone's on track except for Albon and Joe. Hulkenberg and Sargent are on laps. Joe is on an outlap. So as time comes to a close, 5,
Yeah.
4, 3.
Checkered flag is out now, is it?
Yeah, checker flag is out now.
Yeah.
So basically, as cars cross the line, basically this is their This is it. So Sargent just crossed the line. Arcon's just crossed the line. Hamilton, Tsunoda. So these are this is the last lap in terms of the session in terms of timing. They will go around and then they will then line up for practice starts. The only one who's not going to be out there for a practice start is going to be Albon unless anyone else comes in the pit right away. So we are at the end of this session right now. So the story of this session is basically most of a lot of teams went on medium tires. We had 2 teams go with.
Three, actually.
We got 2 teams that went on the soft tires, and they are at the top of the chart. And they're not the teams we expected. It's Ricardo P1, Norris second, Oscar third, Tsunoda fourth. And then we've got Alonso, Verstappen, Russell, Leclerc, Hamilton, Bottas filling out that 10. We've got Sainz at 11, Perez at 12, Albon at 13, Stroll at 14, Zoe is 15, Sargent 16th, and then we've got Alpine 17, 18, and Haas 19, 20. So we got obviously 2 teams that are struggling, and we knew they were struggling. And then we've got the midfield with more teams in there than we expected. And then we've got at the top, and will this hold? We'll have to see later this afternoon. But it is a statement to basically for Ricardo to go out and take that P1.
I think, yeah, as racing statistics has just said, really just top 15, and everyone's basically within a second. That is interesting. And yeah, one thing to mention is actually the 2 Saubers. I think both their timings are actually on softs, which is, I think, the most concerning part about this whole thing. Because yeah, we saw the RB, the Visa Cash App RB and the McLaren on softs, and they've managed to basically take the top 4 positions. But then there's Sauber, who's just struggling to even barely make through the top 10. I'm not surprised if they're just gonna be struggling throughout the whole weekend again, as they've been throughout the whole year last year.
Yeah, I mean, this is free practice 1. This is not representative of what we'll see in quali or the race, but
That is true.
Does make an interesting first session to not see Max on the top of the board, but to see Ricardo on top of the board.
Yeah.
Before we go, Jose just gifted 5 racing statistics, 5 memberships. So ST Sandbits, Felix, Diane Lasker, Roy Broyce, El Ray. Welcome to the family, as I call you guys, the Green Chats. Welcome aboard. Enjoy being, on, part of the channel for the next month, or more if you decide to continue with that. So thank you again, Jose. For those who don't know, if you guys join the channel, you access one of the perks you do have is you get access to a set of emojis that Racing6 put out. You also get a super when you renew, you do get a super chat for the month. So you get a highlighted chat that we will shout out and say on air as long as it's not something we have to mod on you instead. Again, finally, basically, there is, again, the Discord channel. The people will be talking in there between sessions. And then finally, if you guys want to got more money you don't know what to do with, we've got a merch store. Again, I have a lovely purple shirt with the Racing logo on it. I also have I got one of my siblings got a mug with the box emoji on it. It's one of my favorite mugs, to be quite honest. So yeah, so those are where we are at right now. Again, we'll be back in. When this stream ends, you will be brought to the next stream automatically. We should be starting in about 90 minutes or so. Again, either with music or with the Twitter space from Brian Sullivan about F1. And then again, about 10 minutes before the session starts, I'll be back for FP2. So, anything you want to say before we take off, Gaster?
Not too much. I think we just have to wait for the next session in, I think, roughly 2 hours. Yeah, roughly 2 hours. 2.5 hours. All right, 2.5 hours, and we really get a full idea of where all the teams are. I think I'll be able to join you again. So yeah, that's all I really have to say.
All right, this is again Grash. Again, thanking you guys all who came. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for all the views. We will see you again. I will be back soon, and I'll be here for FP2. See you guys soon.
Yep, same here. I'll see y'all later in a few hours.